Hi everyone, so here we are with number 19. Again, trying a little bit of a different format just because I don't have a proper camera mount, so here we go. So with number 19, the biggest thing that we have to remember is that we have this long slope going all the way from the left to the right. All these sides are parallel to each other in some way or fashion. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out all the edges that we can without having to measure the slope first, and then we'll go from there. Okay? So the first things first is on the right hand side, we're going to have this lovely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 5 L. So just starting here, we're going to start here, go 5, make that really dark, then go up 5. Okay, so we got that so far. Then we go to the right 3 along the base here. So this is going to be our next line right here. Okay, then we have this lovely spacing of 1, 2, 3, 4 that we're going to skip. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we go here. Okay, it's important to note that the whole part is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double spaces, which means it's 14 units long. So if we've used 3 and then 4, we have another 7 to go. So that's 3, 6 plus 1 is 7. So we should be right here. Okay, so we're looking at that so far. Okay, so that's 7. Then along the left hand side, we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. That's where we're looking so far. Then what we're going to do is we're going to skip 3 and have a little line segment of 1 right here. It's really small. Okay, but that's what we're looking at so far. On our piece of paper, it shows that this whole rectangle goes front to back for the total width of the part of 5, and it's 6 long left to right. So we're going to go back 5. Okay. And then we're going to bring this to the right 6. Okay. And then we'll have a nice 6 by 5 rectangle like so. Okay. So that's what we can make of most of our units. Then if we use the grid to our advantage here, we can see that this spacing right here is 2. So off the top of the L on the right hand side, we're going to come in 2. Okay. Then this is where it gets a little tricky, but if you notice, we can apply the grid system here. So that's 0. Bring that up 1. Doesn't quite meet that corner, and then if we bring it up 2, we meet that corner. So this right here is 2 up from the bottom, right here. And we should be looking at that so far, okay? What we do from there is we figure out the slope. So if we're 5 over here and we're 2 here, and we know that the slope goes from here to here, that technically means our slope is 3 over 14. Okay, so the easiest way I found to draw this part with a really long gradual slope is to just get a straight edge and draw it. Okay, so we're going to connect these 2 dots right here like so. Okay, and we're just going to work from there. For these 2 corners, we can bring those up where they match the slope like so. Okay, because this is an empty space right here. And if you notice, we have these tick marks right here that tell us this goes into the part 2. So right here, we can transfer this back 2. And we can also transfer this dot back to be in line right here. Okay. So, and then we can do this off of this dot right here, go back 2, bring that over. So we're looking about here, okay? And then what you can do is actually connect these to have it look something like that, and bring the base over like so, okay? So if we erase what we don't need so far, we should be looking at this. And I'm just erasing some of our extra lines here to make sure we can see what's going on, okay? So our slope is a rise of 3 and a run of 14, okay? That's how I'm writing that over there, okay? So this is what we got. So if you're really into measuring, this line right here should be 3.5, okay? Anywhere between 3 and 4 is golden, okay? And then this line right here should be anywhere between 2.5 and 3, and that's another good spot to be, okay? And since we know that this line goes up 2, we can finish out this L by bringing this down 3, and this forward another 3, okay? So we're looking good so far. We can't bring this back, okay, for this edge back here, okay? We have to define this block first. And then we also can't connect over here because, again, we really rely on this block and where it needs to be, okay? So, using the same slope, okay, technically, since we have this gap of 3 right here, what we can do is we use this point again, and we're just going to bring it over to where we had. Essentially, it's flipping and mirroring that slope that we used earlier, because of right here is 3 as well. So all we're doing is flipping that over and mirroring it. So where it comes into contact with this line right here is where we're going to have our point, and we can darken this section of the slope, okay? See how that worked? So this line, which I'm going to measure back here for you guys, should be a little bit more than 2, but no bigger than 3. So bring that down here and bring that across. So anywhere between 2 and 3 is another golden measurement for this so far, okay? So these are where you might differ a little bit in terms of your drawing, okay? So now that we have that, we can bring this line in for that left-hand edge, and then we can bring these lines over to where they connect for these dots right here. Okay, and then we can just draw another dot 2 over and be able to connect those like so. Okay, you should see that everything is parallel to each other in terms of maintaining that slope all the way across. So we just have this inside corner right here to draw, and since we know that this spacing right here is 3, we should have a 3 wide spacing through here as well. So technically this is our guide point, and we're going to end here. So bringing that down like so, I'm going to skip where it's underneath this block here and just draw where it should be and what we see, okay? Like so, okay? See how that worked? Technically this would be a hidden line coming over to connect to that, but since it's hidden underneath this block, we don't need to draw that whole line. Just draw what you see, just knowing that this was your anchor point for drawing that line, okay? So I'm going to clean this up a little bit so we can see how everything fits together now. Okay. Make sure you erase all your extraneous markings so that way number 14 is very clean. Okay. So the last thing we got to do is do our circle, which is pretty easy. It's located between these two away from the left, and it's 1 up from the bottom, and our diameter is 2. So we're going to have our square right here. It's on a forward facing plane, and then we got that. So make sure your crosshair is vertical and vertical and left to right to show that. And then make sure you erase your boxes because those are important. Okay, there you go. That is it for the ISO of 19, and luckily the orthos get a little bit easier. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so for our front view, we're going to start here and we're going to go up 5. So we're going to end up with a line right here. You can't see that. Okay. Actually, I'm just going to bring that over. There's plenty of space. Okay. So we're just going to bring that over here. Yep, you guys can see that now. So that's a line of 5 right here. Okay. We know that the base of that is 7. Okay. Bringing that across like so. We're going to skip 4 for that internal spacing. We'll come back to that. And then we'll have another 3. So if you remember 7, 4, and 3, that gives us a total of 14. Okay. We're going to bring it up 2. So just make a dot and connect it. And then add another 3 on top of that. And that'll give us our total height for the right hand side as well. Okay. Then back on the left hand side, we're going to skip 3 and come back to that. So we got 3, 5, and then we'll have 1 right here. Okay, we're mapping out the big block on top. So this is 6 long left to right. And there we go. Okay, now we're ready to use our slope, which, get my straight edge. We're going to connect this 5 to this 2 right here. We're going to connect it over here, and that'll make everything happy. Okay. Okay, so there's our slope. We'll bring this up, bring that up, and then connect the bottom because the bottom is all flat. But you should know that this line should be between 3 and 4, and this line should be between 2.5 and 3. Okay, remember those. Okay, so technically this wall right here connects where this one edge from the bottom, my bad, this little corner right here, one down from the top, connects this whole wall right here. So we're going to go from this dot down to this dot. Okay, and that's going to bring us all of this information. Okay, just like so. We can connect this down and we can connect this down. And remember, this line should be between 2 and 3 units long. Okay, there's no hidden lines in the front view. All we have to do is draw our circle, which is 2 in from the left, 1 up from the bottom, diameter of 2. Draw your circle. Erase your box, and boom, there you go. Okay, where it gets complicated, it is when it's in the side view. Okay, so moving over to our side view, I know that the full depth of the part is 5. Okay, so basically we're going to start with that backwards L that we see on the right hand side. I'm going to go up 5 over here on the right hand side of the side view, bring that over. I know that this front edge goes up 2, this comes in 2, and then we're going to bring that down 3 and over 3. So there we go, we have a nice L. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to map out the block from on the top from the front view. So this goes up another 4 for the total height, and it goes all the way to the very front of the part for 5. Okay, for my drawing, it's a little bit more than 2, so I'm just going to bring that down about here. Okay, again, remember, if it's anywhere between 2 and 3, that's going to be fine for me. So there we go, we got that box. It connects on this back side as a flat face. Okay, and then technically it will connect here as well because this wall continues all the way up underneath here. Remember? So we have that. So the next thing we got to deal with is we got to deal with this point right here, okay? Because we're going to be seeing this whole backwards C section right here, seeing that change in height from the side view. So I know that it's a total of 5. So we got 2, add 3. You're going to have this nice 3x3 box that everything is going to fit in, technically. Okay? And then we have to draw this inside section. So here it's about 3.5. Here it's about 2.5. So 2.5 and then 3.5. We'll bring that in 2 because that's the depth of the part going back inside. And we'll have a little box right here that's technically 1x2 according to my measurements on my paper. Okay, so now we need our hidden lines. So this slot is open all the way from this edge down to the very bottom. So we're going to have a hidden line coming down in line here. Okay, we have this edge right here, and if you think about it, the left hand side that we would see would be something like this. Okay, and I'm just kind of drawing it. Okay, but roll my paper over. Okay, but technically, because of our front view showing that this is a flat edge, okay, this would all be a flat surface that we would see on the left hand side if we were to draw the left hand side. But we're drawing the right hand side, so we still have to show where these edges are on the left hand side, just hidden behind the right hand side. So we're going to come down 1 off the top, and we're going to go in 3 because technically this wall then connects up 2 from the back to meet where this edge is behind. Okay, because if you see, all this right here underneath would be empty. That's all empty under there. Okay, so we have to mark that. The last thing we have to do is do our circle, which is real fun. So we know that the bottom of it is 1 up from the bottom. Okay, the diameter is 2, so going 2 up from that puts us right here in the middle of everything. And then your center line is going to have a little dash on the outside, the tiny dash on the other side of that object line, and then this long dash breaking through. Okay, so that is it for the side view, and that's the most complicated part. Okay, so now we just have to draw our top view. So bringing that up so to leave enough space, we're going to start with this 5x6 block right here that we see. Okay, so I'm going to go back 5. And I'm going to bring that up over 6 and connect it. Okay, then we're going to continue over another 8 to find this edge along the back, and I know that it's too wide from our side view. Okay, so you should have a 2x8 rectangle now. So you got 6, 8, and 5. Excuse me. Then we come forward another 3 to the very front of the part. Okay, we're now here at this corner. We're going to go over 3 to map out where this corner is. Okay. Then we know that this slot goes into the part 2, so we'll take it back 2. And then it goes over 4, because that's the spacing. So we should be 1 away from our block that we started with. And then we bring that back forward 2. And there we go. And just connect that over. So that's all of our object lines so far, and now we just have to mark out where the wall continues, which is going to be in line with this line right here, and it's just going to be a hidden line all the way over. Okay, just like that. And then we just have our circle, which is 2 in from the left, which brings our hidden lines over like so. Diameter is 2. There we go. Center line, just like that. And that is it for 19. Okay? If you have any issues, make sure you message me on Canvas and I will hopefully be able to help you through words.